It's the real and Sister Browns fan. Just wanted to get into this mug real quick. Um, so we're doing the brownies, cookies, water in episode. Excuse me. Um, for one, I wanted to talk about last year. I had did like checking on the players and pretty much like with that, I was just picking out three different numbers, jersey numbers out of a raffle, if you will, and just basically like discussing what my initial reaction thoughts on the player. Um, I mean, I'll do that again this year, if that's okay. Like, I mean, if that's what you know, it was fun. Like, it gave me something to talk about every week, so I'll be happy to do it again. But I just want to be sure that everybody else is okay with we doing it. So if you do like that, be sure to like the video so that way I know that you guys got the message and that it's something that you guys enjoy like last year. So if you would like me to do that again, because we are in week 4 now. So I did it like after the fourth week. I started on week 5 last year, so I'll do the same thing this year, or I'll just start it at week 5 based on yeah. So yeah, if you would like to see that again, what it is just that I pick out 3 different numbers on the team and basically just talk about the player. And yeah, so as I'm sitting here this morning and I'm just like, man, what am I gonna talk about in this episode? I wanted to say that like I'm just thinking about how everything happens for a reason, and just within like the past few years, I mean, between because it was like, all right, man, it was crazy how we had John Dorsey, who I thought was like a great GM, and I remember, um, even beyond that, it was just like not even just John Dorsey was really my main focus. My main focus was that like Kev Stefanski, like how we got him as a coach, and then that how he was I was thinking like, man, how like people get fired and hired and like what goes into, because I remember like teams would like fire coaches in the middle of the season. It's like, why would you do that? Why don't you just start at the beginning? And like, why would you even have an interim coach and all that other stuff? Like, what goes into that thought process? But then I was just like, man, you remember when Paul D. Podesta, like this was Kev was, P Diddy's selection or his his recommendation. And I remember the first time that they had gave a recommendation, he had gave a recommendation to the Doors, and I think, or was it or it might have been before that, it might have been right when we hired Hugh, when I remember he had P Diddy wanted to hire, I think, the Bills current coach. And I mean, obviously the Bills are doing good, so it'd been like, I mean, could that have happened with us? I mean, absolutely, I would definitely say so. And then, um, but the thing is, it's like everything happened for a reason. I couldn't have seen, the Bills coach be our coach. I think Kev was supposed to be our coach. Like it was just like I enjoy Kevin Moore. I like the way he talks to the media. I just like the way that he carries himself and carries his team. So and that's why I was just like, man, everything kind of happens for a reason, because I couldn't imagine a different coach for us at this point. I think like Kev is like the absolutely perfect fit for our team. Um, is that because we're winning? Obviously, yes. We would like to continue more of that. But just like I said, man, just the values that he preach, what he expects out of his players. I mean, he was kind of like when I had did the video on when I wanted to hire Ron Rivera when he had got fired. He's like the dude that kind of has the homework prepared and then shares the notes with the team. And but the thing is, it's not just him. It's the whole staff, which is why we're kind of, I feel like we're having a whole type of success, because it's just like these all are dudes that do the homework, and then they share off of what information they had gathered off their homework to even make a better decision before, to be like, is there something that we can level up on all this information that we give? How can we get just a little bit better off of what we know now? And it seems like they just focused on doing that. And I mean, and I know that's everybody in the NFL, but it's just the way that our coaches are going about it. It's like they actually are obtaining and achieving results. Um, so yeah, like it's just so crazy just to like think of how everything played out. That you know, John ended up hiring, or not John at the time, but Hugh got hired, and John came in, and they got rid of Hugh, and then Freddie, and then Freddie ended up getting the head coach position, and just like a lot of like craziness. And I even think, like I said, P Diddy had another coach in mind that he wanted to hire, and John wanted to go with Freddie at the time. And it was just like, I mean, obviously that was a mess, but we had to go through that. But now it's like we on the up and up. So just a crazy turn of events. If like you just look back at the past and just like how everything kind of just played out, and it was just like, man. And now that we're here, it's like, everything's like on the up and up. Sunny skies, no more cloudy days. Obviously, we went to the playoffs, and it's just like it just seems like all that stuff is in the past now. Like in the past, and like how things in the past, you can kind of have like a 2020 and just be like, man, like what, how did we get to this point and what it took, and like I said, just like how everything was. It was like, dang, is P Diddy the next best coach talent evaluator, or was he just got lucky a couple times, or what goes into his process is finding like, all right, well, I think that this coach is a qualified candidate, to coach a team and stuff like that. Like, I think he's gonna do good, because obviously, when I did the video, I wasn't like, Kev wasn't my like top choice, obviously. I mean, I know I wanted Saylor at the time, and then I know Josh McDaniels was like a big talk. I definitely didn't want that. And then I know Mike McCarthy was a big talk, and I definitely didn't want that. And then when Kev came around, it was like I really didn't say too much about Kev. But then when we hired him, I was kind of upset because I was so attached to having Saylor as our coach that, after some time of thinking about it, I was like, you know what, man, let me give Kev a chance. He didn't do anything, like, and yeah, he did get beat pretty bad. They did get beat. The Vikings got pretty beat against the 49ers that year. And that did kind of like, just like wow me, like, what the fuck? But, I mean, you can't control everything. I mean, there is a defense too. So it's like, but that offense didn't do shit. I'll tell you that. But hey, that was that. This is now. He showed that he could take a team to the playoffs. So I was wrong. But sometimes you just gotta man up and just admit when you're wrong. Hey, I was wrong. But like I said, I instantly, after I made that video, I instantly went back and I told him, I'm like, I'm about to sip from the Kool-Aid, man. Yeah, I was kind of being a little, I don't, not facetious, but I don't know the word that I'm saying, but it did seem like I was kind of like trolling a little bit about like the pros and the cons of whatever, why it was gonna work, but and I was wrong on those, so it was just like, but nonetheless, like I said, man, I'm just excited because the team is getting better. And this season, I mean, this season's interesting, and I knew the moment that we drafted, but the Ravens drafted Lamar Jackson, it was gonna be a problem. And it's still presenting itself to be a problem. And I don't know how every fucking year we always count Baltimore out. It's always Steelers, Browns, and that's it, based off of like, obviously Steelers resume, yes. And then the Browns, like, they got the roster, so yes, and they went to the playoffs. But then it's like how like we just always overlook the Ravens. I don't get it. Like, why every preseason they always make it seem like they're gonna be the third team, and they end up being like one or two every time, one or two. So I think we need to finally like put an end to that, but we'll see. Um, Hopefully we can get it together, man. We gotta find ways to. The defense played good last week. They gonna have to play like that for the rest of the year. So we'll see if they can nullify uh, Lamar Jackson, obviously, and see if they can stop him and stop him from doing his thing. I mean, either you're just gonna let him pass or you're gonna run on you. But either way, he's like a walking first down. So it's like really hard to stop somebody like that. Like you can't let him take over the game because he, like I said, he's just a walking first down. So we have to see. Everybody try to stay healthy. But I'm all done. Like I said, let me know if y'all want to see you know, the checking on the players again, and that way I can get into that. Start that up. The real Sister Brown fan, peace.